Welcome to Fortune Forecast. I am Daisy, your hostess, and you are in my tarot playlist, where in this video we are going to do a comprehensive reading for the week of December 5th, that's Monday, December 5th, all the way through Sunday, December 11th. And there will be a lot of goodies here. We will start with the lunar influence, so we will get to see what and how we're going to be influenced by where the moon is in the constellation and what that influence will be for us. Then that will be followed by a one-card draw for each day of the week. So we will have the 7-day forecast, one card draw for each, followed by angels and demons. Yes, pleasures and temptations. So we'll see what's going to pull us and what's going to draw us, and are we going to fall for it? We will see that. Then that is followed by the elements. We will do one card for each of the elements, our fire signs, our water signs, our earth signs, and our air signs. Yes, we will put them all in the mix and see what is going to be that influence for each one of the elements. And then that is followed by numerology influence. We will do a one pick of a number and see what the vibe is going to be at play for the week with that number. And then that will be followed by the subscribers community question. Yes, brought to you by you. So if you are interested in having a mini reading for a question that you have, we will do it here on the channel. Simply leave your comments and your question. Simply leave the question here in the comment below, and I will grab it for one of the future sessions. All right, and then we will close out our session with a 1-minute meditation and affirmation, and just come into a 1-minute meditation where we focus on our breath and our presence and give us a little much needed love. And then that's packed with a affirmation for the week. You can say it in the morning and in the evening. You can own it, put it in your toolbox, and whenever you're feeling a little down, bring it back up and get this vim and vigor that you are given with this beautiful energy here. So, are you ready? I am ready. Let's get started. In this section, we will now take a look at the lunar influence of Monday, December 5 through Sunday, December 11. As we look up at the night sky on a very nice clear night, we could see the moon, unless of course it's a new moon. Sometimes it seems like the moon is like a fickle girlfriend, and I go out to look for her and like, where is she today? Interesting that in Spanish we refer to the moon as a female, la luna, and we refer to the sun as masculine, el sol. So here we are, we look at this beautiful moon, and what do we see? How does the moon affect us or influence us or help us? Through the ages, we've come to have a relationship with the moon and the different phases that she's in, and she has helped us figure out where are we during that month. The moon also impacts the tides of the ocean and also the lighting. It is said that the moon does not offer light, but it reflects light. Much of nature depends on her, whether it's animals and birds migrating and navigating, or actually plants that take advantage of either a full moon or the new moon season. The moon moves through various constellations, and it sits in that constellation for about 2 to 3 days. During that time, we are sensing or being influenced by the energies that the moon is magnifying in the constellation that it's passing through. And that's what we're going to look at this week. So starting on Monday, December 5, we see that the beautiful moon is navigating through the constellation of Taurus. The moon is in waxing gibbous. Both on Monday, December 5, and Tuesday, December 6. With that waxing gibbous, we are experiencing exposure of light. We see more of the moon's brightness reflected on us. And what does that mean to us as we are working with the Taurus energy? And Taurus is a very earthy sign. Its grounding energy may find us looking to either settle down or finding ways to feel secure, looking for things to make our life more plentiful. Because Taurus is about opulence. Taurus loves to surround themselves with good things, beautiful things, expression of the earthly life, the bounty of life. Don't be surprised if you find yourself out shopping for something that will improve your life or make your life feel a little richer, a little happier, a little more secure. In the area of relationship, we may find a little bit of romance in the air. We may find that our affections are a little stronger. We might feel that there's a little bit more sentiment. Could this be Taurus? Could this be the holidays? Nonetheless, you can blame that on the moon. So we see ourselves probably being a little bit more protective of our family, of our relationship, that desire to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel secure. And that will spill over also into the areas of finance and career, wanting to really secure yourself and put that stake in the ground as far as what you want to do with your career and your finances. So Monday and Tuesday will find you busy in that sense of wanting security and also wanting to recognize your partner's need for either change, for growth, or either emotional stimulation and support. The moon begins to navigate through the heavens and visits the constellation of Gemini, both on December 7th, Wednesday, and December 8th, Thursday, where she will be in her magnificent splendor as a full moon on Thursday, December 8th, in the constellation of Gemini. Gemini being an air sign, along with Libra and Aquarius, we have the sense and the influence of being determined, being action-oriented, being social. So a lot of this is pushing us to get out there, to get things done, to get focused on what we want, and also to kind of share that with others. In the sense that Gemini is a mutable sign, mutable signs are looking for what? The end of projects. So we see that also. You might get the sense both on Wednesday and Thursday to look at finalizing a few open projects or finalizing things in relationships, because what we have with Gemini is a lot of logic, a lot of clear-headedness. This being an air sign, it has a lot to do with the mind, with thinking and processing things. One thing, though, we need to look at as this amazing energy is coming through on Thursday, December 8th, with that full moon, what is being demanded and asked for is that it's time to stop being what you think other people want you to be and focus on what is important to you for your growth, for your authenticity, and for your own truth. It's time now to kind of really let yourself out, laugh a little, and kind of go ahead and embrace that smart and sassy side that you have. So if you are not an air sign, go ahead and take advantage of the energy of this Gemini, asking you to be rational and detached, which really means you're not into those impulsive decisions that are just driven by emotion. So avoid making impulsive decisions. If you find yourself that somebody wants to push your button, just remember, hey, we've got Gemini here in this constellation. So you know what? I'm just going to say no to the dress. This is an opportunity to learn how to put a stop when somebody asks you a question. Just say, let me think about this. Can I get back with you with an answer tomorrow? I want to really think about this. There is no rush. Just because somebody else has an emergency, it does not make it yours. We then see that on Friday, December 9th, Saturday, December 10th, and Sunday, December 11th, the moon begins its transition into and through the constellation of Cancer. So we went from brainy Gemini and into emotional, watery Cancer. Here we have, coming into the weekend now, the influence of the Cancer energy of emotional and loving and compassionate. So there is this sense that as we are dealing with others, we are now tapping into these parts of ourselves that is asking us to be a little bit more sensitive to the needs of others. You may find that during this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there could be family gatherings or situations where things may get a little bit emotional. Things may be exposed that could have been situations from the past, and use the influence of the moon going through Cancer to allow yourself to heal some of those past hurts. So there is something about this Cancer energy. And of course, we are talking about the water signs, but mostly with this Cancer energy really asks us to go deep into the well of our emotions. Definitely, I could say that all the other water signs will feel very comfortable in this zone. Scorpio and Pisces are swimming just fine, but for the others, this will take them by surprise somewhat, as this is not their domain. So one thing that while you're here, this is a great time to bring things up, to share them, and you will find that there are people that are willing to gravitate to you in this moment, to console you, to empathize with you. And it's a very interesting window for those that are not of the water-based nature. Find strength in this Cancer energy and flow with it. So don't be surprised if there are new relationships budding, as Cancer is a cardinal sign and it is about new beginnings, new seasons. This can also mean new opportunities in the area of finance, in career and jobs. So definitely a wonderful opportunity to venture into these other areas. So this moon in Cancer is inviting you to stand up for your needs, for your comforts, for your security, and for your love. All right, let's move on now to the next section in our comprehensive weekly reading. In this section, we will now do a 1-card draw for each day of the week of Monday, December 5 through Sunday, December 11. So here we go. Let's give this a little activation. Okay. The blessings from the heavens. Here we go. Monday. Monday. Okay. What we see here is we see this knight, and we see what appears to be goldfishes on his outfit. We also see wings on his helmet. We see him very well protected and robed. We see him on this kind of off-white or gray horse and holding a cup. So he's also crossing over some type of, river. And in this is a sense of message, good tidings. Something is being offered, something is coming to you. It could be some emotional, something dear, or it could be a message. So when we see this in the reverse, now we see that maybe an expected news is delaying coming, or maybe receiving news that is not as favorable as you would like. And so in that matter, this is what we have to deal with. And on a personal level, this could mean that maybe you're allowing your emotions to get the best of you and to control you, instead of you just using your emotions to kind of see where you're at and not get sucked into them. Is there a situation that may have happened in the past, as it's facing in the past in a relationship? Maybe you were jealous about someone, upset about something in a relationship, and so maybe you feel like you can't take action on something that you wanted to, and you might be jumping into conclusions. So we can look at it in that sense on a more personal level. Let's look at this in our three main areas. In love, what does this mean? If this is a love interest, it could be a few things. Could be that you're avoiding some type of conflict in this relationship, a situation that may have come up. At the same time, could also mean that this person is not really all that they claim to be, so they're not being 100% sincere. Or this could be a passive-aggressive relationship. Can't say on whose part, but this could be that one of the parties is not being above board with their feelings. So in that sense, it's interesting where this is coming from. There is the potential that Monday will bring situations in the relationship that will have to address matters that are not being shared and that person's not being sincere. So be on guard as it comes to in the area of love, or if it's in the area of relationship or business, we'll see how this shows up. And when it comes to career, business, or partnership, there could be situations that will evolve during the day that's going to create some conflict and some tensions. And so this could also mean that the parties involved, could be you or could be others, are trying to avoid the conflict. Or it could be that this may be an alert to avoid the confrontation, as maybe words could be said that you can't take back later. And as it relates to finances and money, it could mean that Monday will find you kind of feeling at odds in making some type of financial decision, some type of emotional commitment to something that you were intending to buy. And you're somewhat disappointed in the way that things are going with this investment, this purchase. Could be a small ticket item or it could be a bigger ticket item, but definitely there is a transaction, if this is related to money, that will leave you not feeling in the best of moods. And this is what's creating conflict in that buyer's remorse. So there you have it. Let's take a look at Tuesday. All right. Tuesday is Idea Day. All right. We see here the Ace of Cups coming from a hand from the heavens. And so we are here now with the ace as represented as the number one, the beginning. Something is being presented. It's about you following your intuition. This is about, if it's a project that you think you should get started, go do it. If it's a meeting that you need to make with someone, go make that meeting. Allow the flow of the ideas to come through. Follow your intuition. This is about going forward with these projects. It's about following these signs and take action now. This is not about sitting back. This is about going ahead and beginning those small steps that's going to take you to those long-term goals that you have. Those dreams that you have, start with some type of action in the now. So this is the present where the future will meet. But if you don't take that action, it's going to be really hard because it will stay in the abstract mind. So what we have here now, let's take a look at some of the other areas. If this is a love interest that you have, this is about being excited, about being in love, about the being of loving. It's being excited about flirting. It's being excited about those new adventures that you see in these relationships. Could this be of someone that you might be attracted to and feeling passionate about? So definitely following the feeling and trusting where it's going to take you. And as this relates to business, career, work, partnerships, charities, community activities, guess what? Get inspired. This is the time where you bring the people together and allow this creativity to become contagious with others. You don't have to be the one doing everything, but definitely when you get that spark of idea, pick up that phone, make that meeting, get things started, hit that first domino, and you will see how everything will fall into place. You've got to trust that intuition. And in the area of money and finance, this could be that some flow of money is going to come through your doors. Open those doors wide, because there's going to be the beginning of the end of the struggle, and allow this prosperity to come into your life. Make some good decisions with it. Be inspired it to go ahead and double that money that's coming in, triple that money that's coming in, and trust that the universe will always have your back. Okay, let's move on to Wednesday. Lovely. We continue this theme of the wands. Wednesday, we are feeling really good. We see this number 6, as I've mentioned in other videos. The number 6 is about unconditional love. So it looks like you are opening up, and you can see the people here supporting you and surrounded by this. It looks like you've now have a good grasp of all the things that you want. You have a better idea. You have the courage and the confidence. You're riding on your horse very, very comfortably. And it's a kind of a little cute horse, like, hey, baby, I gotcha. So here we move forward with this idea. And now you could see that you have people behind you, and you're bringing forth your ideas, and you're victorious with these. You have the wreath of success, and it's finally feeling good. So Wednesday is a real feel-good day, because you can actually get through whatever confusion was happening on Monday and some other issues of the past, and you're moving forward with this information. You're moving forward with these feelings. You're moving forward and choosing to work with what is good in your life. And part of that is not allowing the distractions to take the best of you. And what you're doing is focusing on your goals, focusing on your projects, focusing on the bright future that is ahead. If we now take this down and break it down to this energy that we had on Tuesday, that idea now you could see in the area of love, following your passion, following the intuition, following that excitement of love. So definitely you are moving forward and feeling that this relationship is something that you've been longing for, something that you've wanted, and it feels really good to be in that place, to wake up and be excited about hearing that person's voice, spending some time with this person, and you're just excited about that. Now, if we move this to the area of career, business, higher academics, and partnerships and things of these professions, what we have here is an achievement here, a completion of some project that involved not only you, but you may have been a team leader, you may have been a key point in this project, and you're being rewarded, you're being recognized for these efforts. So Wednesday comes here, and if this is in relationship to work and career, you're definitely feeling really good that you're being acknowledged for some goals, some projects, achievements that you have, and it's very well deserved. In the area of money and finance, this could mean that as this energy is showing up in the area of career, this is also following through with money and finance. This could mean a raise. This could mean a bonus. Additionally, outside of that, this could be an investment that now is returning its dividends for you. It's returning profits for you. The business venture, this project is now coming in, and you're seeing the financial benefits of the time that you've put in and the skills that have gotten you to this area. So there will be a beautiful blessing. You're receiving financial gifts. Open that door wide and receive that money that will be coming in, and that financial stability for you. On Thursday, okay, so we have now, interesting that the wand that showed up on coming from the heavens, this divine guidance, is now in your hands. It's beautiful. The Hermit with the number 9. It's interesting because we had on Wednesday, we had the number 6, and the number 6 moves us forward to the number 9 as universal love. So very different. We go from unconditional love to universal love, and holding the staff, we've acquired some wisdom. And it's interesting also because the Hermit, and I would invite you to visit my Learn Tarot playlist and look up the meaning of the Hermit card that I have on there. But we see that the hermit is holding his staff on the left hand, and in the right hand he has this lantern with the six-pointed star. We have the number 6 here, the number 6 of unconditional love. And so as we've have transcended this whole experience and certain things that have happened, we're in a place now where we're going to step into a new level of growth as we start thinking about service and love for others. And we see this through this, and there's this divine wisdom that we saw coming through an idea or a project earlier during the week, but now we've taken a step back and we're looking at this, our life, in a different way. We're seeking this star to guide us north, to guide us true, and we're looking in a place deep within us. We may want to, while there are all these wonderful things happening in our life. And another thing that's interesting is that Thursday we are in full moon, and it's traveling through Gemini. And Gemini is an air sign, a sign full of a lot of intellect, emotional clarity, communication. So it would not be very odd to see this card showing up, reminding us, let's take a look at everything and bring it back to a deeper place. Let's begin to assess and have a better way to express our emotions, express our ideas. And so Gemini is influencing all of us here and bringing us a moment of reflection. And so it wouldn't be odd to see now many of us feeling this intense energy of the full moon in Gemini come Thursday, bringing us back to coming back down to this inside journey for ourselves. And it could be that in the area of love, we don't want to rush things. We want to come in and understand the deepness of love, not only the love that we have for others or for this person in particular, but also that unconditional love that begins to blow itself up and through us. So as we may want to just kind of pull back a little bit and just bask in the beauty and the love itself and not rush things, because love is just too beautiful to be rushed. In the area of career, this could be a very big move that could be asked, and you are wanting to take a step back. Perhaps they're asking you to relocate. They're giving you not only just a raise, but also a promotion. And with that promotion may come new responsibilities that may require you to move, open up a store somewhere for them, open up a business, expand a partnership. It's so many things that could be happening, or branching new products and launching new things for your company, that you want to kind of take a slow down before you kind of look at what is it that you're looking in your career, the meaning that it's going to bring you to your life. So sometimes it's not really about all the bling bling, but it also is the bling bling in your heart and the sole purpose in your life. And in money, as all this is kind of falling into your lap with love and career and money, and it's almost like a dream come true, and realizing possibly that how can you turn this money into something that really gives back. So there's a lot of things that you see yourself contemplating on Thursday into what really is this thing called life and your role in it, and where else can life take you, and what more can you do as you express through you the love that wants to be expressed in this universal number 9, the number 9 in love. And just beautiful December so far. Interesting. Let's take a look at Friday. So now we have 2 major arcanas, and this one is in reverse. So let's take a look at the star right side up for a minute and see some of the symbols that we see here. And here we have an 8-pointed star, and the number here is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So it's interesting how we come back to that number 8 with the star. And this person is bare naked to the world and working with different elements on land, in water, all these feelings and also emotions. And then we have the phoenix over here, already risen on the tree, probably providing messages and information and being illuminated by all these beautiful stars. But now we have this in reverse. So could it be that as you've approached the weekend coming into Friday, there's new challenges because you're looking at the different situations, and maybe it's just a lot for you to take in. And something could be that has, after really seeing things, at a deeper level, now the wisdom in itself has given you something to contemplate about. And maybe you've lost faith in something. Maybe come Friday, it wasn't what you thought it could be. And we need to come back and really trust that inner feeling, because maybe you've been too critical on yourself. Maybe you've been pushing yourself so hard. Maybe you've over expected certain things in the relationship. Maybe somewhere along the way, something has shown up that kind of has rocked your boat for a minute there. And so as you're looking into your future about the different prospects, something within it is just not as excited as you thought it would be once you would get there. And now that you got there, it could be a little bit different. And that's something that you need to continue to work through, because every decision we make begins to have an effect financially, emotionally, physically. And as we go there, looking at these decisions that we need to make in life, come Friday, it's got you really thinking about this. And what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to wake up to get to the next level? And is all that worth it? Sometimes they do say ignorance is bliss. Let's take a look at, okay, so we see this card right side up, and it's interesting. Now before we move forward, let's take a look at our Wednesday card compared to our Saturday card. And look at this. We still have the 6. All these now, it's mental issues, all these decisions that's happened within the week or so. We're thinking about new things here and trying to move forward. But remember, this card was in reverse. But here we have the wands and action and celebrations. But it's almost like being in a marathon and trying to, hit that goal. Once you hit that goal, it's like, okay, is it worth pursuing the next one? Once you've got the gold, what's next? And so come the weekend on Saturday, it could be that you're trying to make these transitions. You're trying to move on. These decisions that have been thrown at you and these offers and opportunities, you're wondering if this is at all even worth it. You might be experiencing the challenges of these new decisions that you need to make, and you're trying to still mull them through, and you're not ready to move on. You're not ready to move on. You might find that where you're at is where you want to be. And so you're finding this, you're questioning these decisions that are about to be forward. And in love and romance, could it be that the reason that you're finding it hard to make any decisions in anything right now is because you may have to move on from this relationship because there's some issues there that you can't bring everyone with you? Or could it mean that in career or your business and partnerships that now you're going to have to deal with a whole new team or new situation, and you're not ready to move forward? Because what does it mean now as you move forward into this new area and this new career opportunity? You really don't have all what you need to get this new role, but maybe you're thinking that you're undermining your own talents and think that you might be kind of trapped in, either in the current situation because there's no more upward mobility, or if you move over to this area, maybe you are not as efficient and as versed in this new field as your resume looks. Or could it be that in your finances, you're not ready to deal with new things that are showing up? And it could be that financially, there are new responsibilities and you are trying to avoid on how to address that influx of this either new debt that you've incurred or these transactions that are looming over your shoulder that are financial transactions that are going to be overburdening in the future, and you've kind of gone a little too far and kind of find yourself trapped. But remember, this is just a mental trap. Everything has a solution once you know how. So it's like really trying to find the plan that's going to get you out of that bind. At the end of the day, we all get out of the bind. Sometimes it's hard to see because we have tunnel vision. Sunday. Okay, wow, this wand theme is the theme for this December so far. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, and so now the wand that was given to you on Tuesday, that idea, that project, that inspiration, you've taken it on. You are holding it for sure. It's been moving you forward. And with it, you have learned some life lessons, very deep life lessons that you still couldn't transition forward. So there's still something in this experience, in this relationship, in this situation, in this partnership, even with money and even your own health, that you are still not graduated from. There's still more to extract from this experience, that you still haven't gotten all of what you need to get to help you evolve, and then the situation why you can't move on. But there's this conflict. Come Sunday, you've got more of this grasp of it, and there might be what I would say internal conflict with this, and also outward. So if this has to do with a relationship, could be that, there's a give and take in the relationship. It's nothing harmful, but sometimes, some people call that verbal foreplay. So it'd be interesting how this is going to play out in this relationship, this dynamic. And if this is that new relationship that we were watching and excited about and passionate about it, and then even though you may want to kind of play it slow, because it's exciting to be in that honeymoon stage, and all how much fun it is to getting to discover all the little nuances of that person. And so there might be some what I call a little tension between this partnership. If it is a new relationship, if this is a ongoing relationship, a more mature relationship, there might be a little a situation here that's showing up, a little conflict, a little bit argument about something, nothing that you can't all figure out later, but nonetheless, there's this situation that trying to come in agreement about something that is on the table, that's happened in the past, and trying to work it out. That's, everyone wants to win a good argument. Question is, do you have a good argument? That's where you need to start. And then when we look at the area of career, as I did feel that some of you out here are dealing with situations in your job, your career, or your business, and partnerships with colleagues, and there's a little sense of competition. Could also be a little sense of conflict, a disagreement, and not everybody agrees on the same thing that they want to take the organization in. Or there could be things that happened that now need to be resolved, because if it's a business, there's a lot of moving components to a business. So you can't get everything right when you're trying to manage different aspects of it, especially some people have different ideas where they think the company should go. And then if this is a working type of situation, there could be service issues, product issues that's creating some type of challenges at work. So it's so many different components here, and definitely showing up. And I say this because not everybody has a Sunday off. Sometimes people bring their work home and you have to deal with it. We live in an era where businesses don't close on Sundays. I remember many years ago when I was a little girl, supermarkets were closed on Sunday. Now, they're 24/7. So I almost wish we could go back to those days where you could almost hear the crickets on a Sunday. But we are a ever expanding and growing being, and that's what we do. We just expand to the next level of what we are. Okay, so when it comes to finances, there could be something that has happened during the week that has created a little bit of tension financially. And it's important that you catch this early so that you can manage it through the rest of the month and set yourself strong for January and set yourself strong for the new year. So the things you do today will really impact your future. Get yourself busy to do that, because you can. All right. There you have it. There you have it. Let's move on now to angels and demons. What will be our pleasures and what will be our temptations? Okay. Okay. Angels and demons. Ace of Swords. Interesting, because we had the Ace of Wands. So in the Ace of Swords, we are dealing with our air signs of the mind and intellect. And so here, we also see the symbolism here of the snake. And snakes usually refer to wisdom. He also referred to very earthly elements, rebirth and stealth and cunning and charming. So as this ideas and inspiration are coming through, this is what the angels are bringing through. Our pleasures are of thinking through these issues. Remember that we had a situation here. We had the Ace of Wands about intuition and following and trusting that divine guidance. And it does lead us, whether it was in relationship or in career, there is some rejoicing and success in that journey. And we pulled back. We pulled back again into that intuition under what? The Gemini full moon, which was also an air sign. And we see that here as the swords represent air signs, your Libra, your Geminis, and Aquarius. So we see some type of energy that is coming from the heavens. The angels are bringing this and letting you know that if you allow yourself not only to follow your intuition, but also, and that not only once but twice, because we have the unconditional love. And here it is saying, move forward with these new ideas that are coming in. The Ace of Swords, the angels are saying, allow yourself to be divinely guided. Allow your thoughts to be of that higher quality. Allow and bring clarity to your thinking. As you bring that clarity to your thinking, it will be manifested here on earth. So the serpent is one of those symbols that also represent the earth, the charm, that communication. It was the serpent that brought a message to Eve. So I wasn't there. Allow yourself to see the truth of what is coming through you, and speak honestly when you are dealing with those loved ones, with your business associates and colleagues, and also be honest with your financial decisions that you are making. So that way, when you bring that higher plane and allow divine guidance into your thoughts, then you have a beautiful filter before you make those decisions. So will you allow the highest thoughts to help guide you, or what's here? I have no idea. Let's see what's here. Ooh, the universe is upside down. Interesting. So let's take a look at some of the symbols here on this card. We have the number 21 and broken down to the smaller numbers, the number 3. We also see here that there are some creatures here. We have air creatures, water creatures, earth creatures, and fire creatures. So here in this deck called the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa Decor, she has this god Shiva here dancing, and around this fire circle. So the universe, being the last card on the tarot deck for the arcanas, represents the ending, but well, for that also it represents new beginnings. So this whole journey that started with the Fool's card, that innocence of the Fool, and all the experiences through that major arcana journey, lands us here with all this knowledge and wisdom with the number 21 and the universe. And so all of this is brought into this deck here. So this dancer has several arms, where one is holding fire and the other one the cup of life. And then these two is in the position of the Hasta Mudra, which is for protection. And so all these elements are being played out here. And then we see this little baby that in this particular deck refers to our own limitations that may be holding us back, but no longer. But remember, in pleasures and temptations, in our angels and demons draw here, this is now showing up. Which are we going to choose? Are we not going to strike forward and unite ourselves with our higher intellect so that we can transcend all this and get to where we need to go? Are we going to allow the ego, our human nature, to be the domineering one? This is the character Tav, which in Hebrew is the symbol of the cross, opening up to that divine and connection of the universal. But this is upside down, so we are choosing otherwise. We are choosing to be dominated by the natural animal human instinct and our natures. And so interesting, are we going to remain and tempted with our earthly pleasures, or will we transcend to our intellectual and amplify and begin that journey of expansion through the mind? What will we choose? Because we are being asked to start on that soul path. What are we going to do? It'll be interesting. Which one will you choose? Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is the elements of the zodiac. And so here we will see what for each one of our zodiacs. We will start with fire, followed by water, earth, and air. So here we have, for our fire signs, are Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And it's interesting that in the angels and demons section, we had not the Wheel of Fortune, we had the universe in reverse, but it was an opportunity, maybe the temptation to not follow and become master of the elements, because we see these also portrayed in the universe card as well. And here on the Wheel of Fortune, you may be given a lot of opportunities, not only in love, in business, in health, also in your career, to spin that wheel, and the direction where it's going to take you, no matter where it lands, you will be moving forward into new areas that are going to be what is calling bringing you new seasons into your life. You have what is called the rising and the setting of the sun is now here with you, with the what we call the master of luck and fate here working with you and inviting you to come and play once more. So definitely there will be things presented for our fire signs that are really out of your control, because we are dealing with a karma card, the number 10. And when we talk about the number 10, we have the invitation of the number 1 plus the 0. And the number 10 resonates with leadership, optimism, confidence. It is about reminding us that we create our own realities. So you can break it down to the number 1 for the new beginnings. And so we kind of have a sense here, as there are different situations that may be asking you, whether it was that promotion or something in the relationship that's moving forward, the beginning of that new relationship, or this journey that you need to make, and the issues that may require you to ascend and move forward. And maybe there's some elements that are going to help you understand that we create those realities. And with that number 10 is welcoming these insights that are coming from the heavens to guide you through, and understand that there are some things that just show up. And when they say Lady Luck is on your side, all you need to say, yes, I will spin that wheel. Let's take a look at our water signs. Well, being all grumpy here with the King of Swords. Interesting, interesting indeed. Our water signs are Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And here we have the King of Swords in reverse. We see this king here, and a couple things that I'd like to point out. There is a sword element here, and there is a sword element on Saturday. So the angels is a sword pointing up. And when we look at this king, we see him a sense of confidence, and there's this depthness about him. He has thought all his plans, and he is ready. As you could see when he puts his fist down like this, is like ready to push off and take action if he needs be, to cut to the truth, to get to justice. He has no problem wielding it. He has the strength. He's got the protection for it. He's got the divine guidance. Now the thing is, this is in the reverse, my water signs. So what does this play out? Are you in the area of relationship, with this relationship, and maybe this need to pull back a little bit? Is there a sense of like this manipulation? Do you remember, I think I said something about passive aggressive? Is there some issue that, there's a passive aggressive relationship happening here, whether it's on the intimate level, whether it's at work, whatever that is? It may not be a very healthy thing if you are manipulating with your mind the situation and taking advantage of the edge that you have, because you may have more knowledge and more experience, and so you might have that little edge. Just remember that people do catch up, because once they know something, they can't unknow it. So what do we have here? Are you afraid that if you don't have that edge, that this person might walk away from you? And what does that mean in regards to other areas of your life? In career, could it be that you are really so focused on, really getting ahead at work, and that you might be making some decisions that are putting others in what I would say uncomfortable situation, where they cannot express themselves, or they feel like you're dominating certain areas? Could it be that you are pushing yourself too hard, pressing yourself too hard for that goal, that you don't really care how others around you, your colleagues, are affected, because you're so hungry for that status, for that recognition? And maybe in the area of money and finances, despite these passions that you may have, and you might be driven more with the passion and the romance about the situation, that you're not thinking with your head when it comes to your money, your finances, and these investments. So take stock and really put a play into your thoughts of different scenarios that could happen, and work with these scenarios to find the one that is best for you. But you take the time to think before plotting in any more money into that situation, into that investment, into that deal. So really interesting situation for our water signs, as some of you might be a little bit stubborn with what's happening. Interesting which way you're going to go when it comes to angels and demons. Let's look at earth signs. Our earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And we see the beautiful queen here in her beautiful throne, as she looks on gently and contemplating all the beautiful things that have spawned because of her rulership. She has the golden yellow of this divinity and this wisdom all about her. The wisdom of the black cat, always there, protecting and whispering and letting her know what's going on all around her. And she wields her authority with ever lightness and gentleness, yet nonetheless authority she does have. And for our earth signs, how beautiful it is that in your relationships, in your work, and in your financial endeavors, you are a rock for so many people. You support so many people in so many ways, and that's what's showing up here. You may find that this week of December 8th through the 11th, your heart is open. You may find that your heart is much tender as you are dealing with people, whether it's in an intimate level or during your business dealings at work and other projects that you may have going on in your community. The one thing about the beautiful Queen of Wands is that she has so much common sense to her. She is very intuitive, and she has what would be called just this naturalness of intuition, this naturalness to that she's connected not with her five senses only, she's connected with all her senses. So she may be called the psychic queens of them all, as when she deals with things, she is summoning earthly and divine wisdom natures to work with her. She has a lot of what is called logical approach. So you may find that as you're dealing with different things during the week, so for our earth signs, you will be dealing with things in a very logical, common sense approach, even with situations that may show up in your relationship. And you might find for our earth signs that your relationships are going into that next level because you do want more meaning in your relationships, whether they're the intimate ones or your partnerships. It's not worth it for you if you can't have that intimate relationship when you're sharing of yourself, even the intellects of your capacity to serve others. So you may also find that my earth signs, Taurus, Virgos, and Capricorns, you may find that with work, you're going to be looking for some more support at work. Maybe the projects are now expanding that you need to expand your circle and bring others to collaborate and to help you out with the different things that you are getting yourselves involved in. So there's going to be that need to collaborate and to work with others. And it's also now in the area of finance. You may find that this week that's coming up, you're going to be using the resources you have, and you're going to also be blessed that you can bless others. So open your doors and allow that abundance to flow in through your gates. Let's take a look at our air signs. Our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Let's take a look here. So we have the 10 of Wands and it's in reverse. Let's take a minute here to look at some of the symbols here. We have this person heading to this castle, and it's such a long journey to get up that hill with all these wands over their shoulder. What a burden that must be. Yet how strong must you be to do that? So when we have our 10 of Wands upside down, talking about like the end of this burden, this thing that you've been carrying is finally coming to an end. Because it's in reverse, we could see that these sticks are now going to drop off and you won't have to be burdened with the situation any longer. So as you enter this week for our air signs, it's important to take a look at what is burdening you right now. What is causing you stress? What is physically causing you stress? What is emotionally causing you stress? What is financially causing you stress? And it is important that you drop that baggage. And that's probably why you've been considering that. And you're finding it hard to let go of some things as we see it. You're finding it hard to move on from something. And it's too dear to you still. It's too fresh for you, and it's hard for you to let go of that. But anything that does not add value to your life is not worth in your life at this time. It's important that you let go of these things and not be burdened with them. Maybe it has to do with a relationship that is burdening. You might find that you might be in a relationship that is either too needy or not sincere, as we earlier saw when this first card came out on Monday, dealing with someone that's not authentic, someone that is not all expressing who they really are. So they say one thing, but their actions show something else. And you might find yourself having to deal with, that type of situation and certain scenarios that have played themselves out during the week for our beautiful air signs. And in the area of career, maybe it could be that in the area of career, we did see some good news here. So it could mean that while you have been getting a promotion, it actually might mean that the burdens that you had are now being delegated to someone else. And now you have free time and free ability to do other things that now used to be a burden for you. So it could be a positive thing in the area of career. Or it could mean if you are in business, or you are in an area that you are a boss or a leader or a manager, it could mean that maybe now it's time for you to go find others that are going to be able to help you get the job done. You may need to start delegating some of these responsibilities, and because there's other things that need your attention, that's why you get paid the bigger buck, right? And if you are your own business and your own business owner, you may find it wise to, delegate some of your less mental work to others so that you can grow your business and don't be burdened by those small trivial things. On another note, financially, this could be a very great card. It could mean that there's going to be a relief somehow. A relief either coming in to supplement your income, a relief of a debt that now got closed out, and something is going to be relieved for you. So definitely open up the gates and allow that abundance and that prosperity to come into your life. Then before you continue to move on, make sure that you reassess your finances and set new goals so that you can manage what you have and move on forward to a very strong new year. All right, well, there you have it. So we do have our next section, subscribers community question. All right, if you are interested in having a mini reading, please do submit your question on this post, and I will grab it and bring it on to our channel at one of our upcoming sessions, okay? So here we go. The question is, what challenges am I up against in these next couple of months? And this could be anyone that might be going through something and may be also appropriate for them. So if you tune into that collective, that's why this is called a comprehensive collective reading. So those that are lining up with wondering what challenge you're going to have to deal with, this is that collective wave. Okay, we'll put this one. Okay, that's the second one. And then the third card, okay. Let's take a look. We have the Four of Wands. Let's take a look at what the Four of Wands looks like. We have this beautiful flowers and trees in the background. We see this beautiful ribbon on this tower and all these flowers in the entrance. The Four of Wands, we see the four pillars here. Four pillars, usually when I think about these types of setups, I think about a solid table. So what's happening in here, possibly in the next couple of months, that foundation has been stirred for you and you're looking to find that new ground. So there might be a reorganizing, in your case, a reorganizing of your foundation. So you might find yourself really busy in these next couple of months because things as you knew them are no longer that. And so now you need to establish new foundations, a new structure, new organization. It's almost like reorganizing your foundation. With the number 4, we get the vibration of organization, of service, of patience, also inner wisdom, and security. So we're finding that this in the next couple of months, a lot of that is off because you're restructuring. There's a lot of things that's happening where your normal foundation has changed, and now it's kind of finding a way to get a new foundation so that you can have stability. And it's really focusing on finding this new solid ground for yourself. So this, I think this has 2 cards. Oh, look at that. Okay, so a couple of the issues dealing to help you get to this foundation. We have the 5 of Wands. So there's going to be some challenges, some disputes, some issues that are going to arise from, this in the next couple of months that are going to create some conflict as you're trying to establish new foundations for yourself, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And that's kind of where you're heading up. And that creates a little bit of that tension, trying to find what's going to work for you in the next couple months. And the thing about the Five of Wands, that it also is ushering change. It's ushering freedom. And this may be something that is so unfamiliar, and that's probably why there's also a little bit of conflict as you're trying to move forward and see what this looks like for you, how to understand, how do you improve, yourself while you're still dealing with so many other situations. So in this sense, it's about, yes, you're in the next couple months, it's establishing new foundations for yourself. What that's going to look like is going to be interesting because there will be some conflict. It could be not only inner struggle, but struggle and conflict with others, because others are also part of this combination for you, and they may be invested or interested, and somehow they're connected to your foundation. And the good news is that the Nine of Pentacles does show up as being able to get through that through the number 9. So while the 4 is telling you that your foundations are somewhat off, and that's what you need to focus on, is really creating stability for yourself and setting that foundation, the number 5 is also urging you to invite that change, to invite whatever new is coming in your life. Even though you're going to have to deal with some conflicts, both not only internal, but also with others, as this new normal for you is going to be coming about. And so the number 9 is about end of a journey, end of a lesson, end of an experience. And with that, we see something beautiful coming out of it, which is the end of a life lesson, a life experience, and bringing you now into this new centerpiece as you now have this new thing to grow and learn about creating community and relationships. This here we see establishing new relationships and communication, and there is bounty and abundance and prosperity about you. So the big thing now that we need to see is what you need to look out for. And as this moves forward, what do we see for you? Interesting. The 8 of Wands. So this is in the reverse. So with the 8, resonates with authority and personal power and confidence and manifesting and inner wisdom. So there's something that seems to be, because it's in reverse, so that need to be very careful that you do not sabotage your own self, your own growth. You need to, as you're going through this transformation and establishing foundation and this new identity for yourself, and you see how the little bird was here. Now we have 2 birds, but you're kind of now holding back on that. And it's important that you be patient with this journey, with this new journey in your life. You may discover that some of the obstacles that you thought were there were created really by you. And now that that foundation has been rocked and things are revealing themselves, you're seeing that for yourself. What's important is that you avoid sabotaging your own dreams. You avoid sabotaging this beautiful direction that the universe has for you. There's a lot of beautiful things. You need to be patient with everything and everyone. You need to believe that everything will be just fine. Not only say it, you need to truly believe that everything is going to be fine. And you will discover that once you let go and allow to flow and create these foundations, because now we see we can turn this around and we can move forward and fly off with whatever we want. And as you begin to restore your foundation, what we will see here as the 8 will bring out the confidence, the courage, and the strength. The most important key to this journey for you now, this next phase, is to be patient. To be patient and to catch yourself when you are getting a little bit stressed, when you're getting a little bit worried, and refocus yourself and power up the courage within you. Power up that faith. Power up the trust that divine source has, that there's a divine energy guiding you, watching after you, bringing things when you need them in your life. Most important is don't rush the process. Work with the process. Don't get in the way of the process, and flow with the process. Open up to deeper levels of divine intuition. And that would be what you need to do. All right. There you have it. Okay, let's move on to our next section, which is our numerology influence. All right, let's see what number will show up. The number 5. So it's interesting here how we had this, the side is empty, and it's almost like don't look towards the past, because what we have is the future. And to step into the future, we need to be open to the energy and the vibration of this beautiful number resonating, influencing us for personal freedom, for what is asking, embracing the life changes at the same time, non-attachment to things. And so the life lessons only come from the experiences lived. So with the number 5, as we move forward, it's inviting all that we need to move forward, which means to move forward, we need to lift up the anchor. We also need to drop the baggage. We also need to look only forward. We cannot stop to look back. There's nothing there anymore. All we have is expansion. All we have is an incredible future. And so as we embrace this future ahead of us with the number 5, it's about progress. It's about travel. It's about understanding. It's about sociability. It's about working with others, playing with others, being around others. The number 5 is inviting us to important life changes that are already at your doorstep, and welcome them in with a positive childlike expectation. Open up to see that all these opportunities have something great for you. Embrace life through an optimistic view of all that is wonderful. And guess what? The more you focus on them, the more you will see them. Just like that red car, that you never see a red car, and all of a sudden today you're going to see so many red cars out there. You're like, what? And that's what this is about. Be grateful for all the auspicious opportunities that are coming your way. Welcome change, and also bring that health and well-being so that you can enjoy all the positive things that are coming your way. All right, there we go. All right, let's move on now to our 1-minute meditation and affirmation. In this section, I invite you to join me for a 1-minute meditation. This is a 1 minute of personal reflection. This is just a 1 minute of just being in your space. And together we will be in the space where we will invite peace, serenity, where we will just observe our thoughts as they float by, and where we will observe our breath, where we will direct energy from our body and push off anything that does not feel comfortable and just exhale it out. So I invite you for this 1 minute of personal reflection, of observing your breath and just experiencing the I am. I will ring the bell once. The minute will start. We will enjoy the silence and observe the breath coming in and out. And the next time that you hear the bell, the minute will be up. So this gives you a chance, if you wish, to just sit back, release all the tension from your body, and trust that a minute from now, the bell will ring and you can open your eyes and start the next part of your day, whatever it is you're going to do, feeling refreshed and wonderful. So let's get started. Come back, come back, come back. All right, I hope that this minute of this peace will be a foundation for the rest of your day. Let's now go on to our affirmation. You can take this week's affirmation, write it down in your phone, and keep it as a reminder for this week. Or you can put it on a 3x5 card, put it in your bathroom, put it by your bedside, stick it in your pocket, and when anything disturbs your peace, pull it back out and just remember that you can control how you feel. You can refuel your energy with positivity, with calmness and strength. So I will say the affirmation once, and then we'll go ahead and I'll say it a second time. You can say it out loud with me if you wish. The affirmation for this week is, I release my expectations to open myself to the wonders of the universe. I release my expectations to open myself to the wonders of the universe. And I do hope that you release your expectations, because the universe has many wonderful things waiting for you. Well, there you have it, our comprehensive collective reading for the week. And I hope that this will give you the clarity you need, the tools that you need to just go and do it. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me your comments, and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified when I put up my next video. So until then, be blessed.